Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today we are on an adventure. We're on our way to a local nursery to pick up some arborvitae to make a little privacy wall. So Ann went out yesterday and she went to talk to the nursery and she was thinking that maybe we'd buy 10 or 12 arborvitae to put along the front of the property. Well, they recommended more than that. How many are we getting, Ann?
We are picking up 60 trees. 60 trees today. So we'll see. I think it's too much, but they know best because they're the nursery people.
So we'll see what happens when we get these. We've got the 16-foot flatbed trailer on the back. I don't know if it's even going to hold that many. I haven't seen them, so I can't really figure out what that will take. But
80
anyway,
pounds a piece.
80 pounds a piece.
80 pounds a piece.
And the ball size is probably 18 inches or so. We'll see when we get there.
No, leave everything just as it is.
Yep, now, yeah, for sure now, and it'll just keep growing and growing and growing.
Okay.
So.
What we want.
Este güey en corto te da en la madre, pues así trabajando, güey. Qué madre putado, güey, trabajando, güey, se da un bate, güey, neta, güey. Llegaban de su madre. Ahora como antes, con los otros, cuando estaba aquí mareando toda la gente, ¿no? Como tres alturas, tú lo enseñaste, tú sabes.
Is that right there?
Yep. Hold this one on.
Well, there's 60 arborvitae, and there's my overly ambitious wife. We're going to unload them here by the stream, and then they told us to run a sprinkler on them just to keep them.
Yeah, so you don't directly put it because there's so much topsoil. It won't absorb it right. It'll just overflow.
So we'll just line them up.
Yeah, just line them up.
Run the sprinkler.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Seems so easy.
Okay, get going. Take those trees.
Last one. Well, there they are. I didn't count them out, but that's 60 of them. You know, I learned in a relatively short time why so many farm workers wear long sleeves. Because my wrist is all rashed up in just that little bit of time. So, well, now I'm heading over to Phil's place because he generously offered for me to use the L3301 with the backhoe for planting these trees. All right, I've got the L3301 backhoe in position, and I'm gonna go get the B2601 with the bucket on it and grab a few trees and bring them up to the hill here. That looks great. Now, instead of doing whole tree, whole tree, whole tree, I'm gonna go down the line, mark all my holes, dig all my holes, and then come back and drop the trees. And I think that'll be a lot more efficient. There's a way to do it better. Find it. Thomas Edison. So we're planting these about 4 feet apart. That's a little tight, but we do want these to grow into a privacy fence as soon as possible. So that's the idea. I planted 2 already and I pasted off and I was about 6 feet. So I'm going to do it the right way with the tape measure, going about 3 feet off the current fence and 4 feet apart. And I'll stick a flag in each one. That'll give me a good visual before I actually start digging holes. If you use these marking flags, a neat way to keep them bundled and together is to take a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe, glue a cap on the end, and you can keep your flags all together in the pipe. And I also drilled holes around the perimeter, not through the bottom so the flags don't fall through, but this way water can drain and air can circulate. Works pretty well. First I marked the tree placement with flags, but I don't want to dig the flags and have them all mixed up in the dirt, so now I'm going to mark the flags with paint. Then I'm going to pull the flags out and I'll have nice red dots wherever a tree goes. Now, I don't have a backhoe, so it was very generous of Phil to let me borrow this. And I'm a little rusty on the controls, so sometimes I just go in the wrong direction because I'm not thinking straight, or just haven't gotten quite used to it. What I found so far after digging a number of holes is it seems better to not be right over your work. You know, give yourself some space. This thing has a nice reach to it, so it's actually better to not be right over it from what I'm seeing. Maybe a little bit more control. I can open that bucket up a little bigger, drop it down and curl it in, push it back a little bit, and there's my hole. I like to raise it up so that when I drop the dirt it kind of breaks apart. And then usually skim it again. Hi, Ann. If you have a piece of property, but you don't have a tractor, if you get one, you'll never know how you survived without one, especially with a loader. I mean, just moving these 4 trees at a time up to the top of the hill would be so much more work. It's just great. What I'm doing here is flattening off the bottom of the hole, making sure that it's no more than about 10 inches deep. And it's big enough I can move the plant around to kind of even it up with the other sides. I just grab it by the trunk here, the stem, drop it in place, and square it up, Make sure my top of my ball is about level with the ground. It's lined up with the other 15 trees. And I'm just working my way down the line. Not bad, another 23 holes in about an hour, maybe even less. This time I did straddle and I reached right and left because I'm kind of in a hurry because it's really starting to rain and it's going to just rain more. Also, shout out to Phil for breaking the tractor code and actually letting me borrow his tractor. This is another great example of why it's important to right size your equipment. Bigger is not always better. This tractor, which is still considered a compact tractor, although it's bigger than mine, I have the 2601, this is the L3301. It definitely sits bigger, it's got more power, but it's still not too big. I mean, this bucket was just right for digging these holes for these trees. So the other good thing about borrowing or renting equipment is you've got limited time, you've got to get stuff done, so it's very productive. Well, that was quite a project. We got 50 trees in really just a few hours, thanks to Phil for the use of the backhoe. And of course, thanks to my wife for her ambitious purchase of 60 Green Giant Arborvitae. But these things are going to be great. They're going to create a nice privacy fence along the road here in just a few years. They grow apparently about 3 feet per year, so I'm excited about that. I want to thank you for watching today. If you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, I invite you to join us. Make sure you follow on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok too. TikTok too. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.